and welcome to English for Experience. This is a video for WJEC Eduqas students doing English Literature Paper 1. We're looking at the anthology poetry questions, and in this video we're just moving on to look at the context of the poem. So you can see here, if you haven't seen video 2, these are the notes that we made, but it was more about the discussion and the opportunity for you to take notes, so it will be helpful to go back and have a look at that. But for now, what we're doing is trying to address this, the context of the poems and how these may have influenced the ideas in them. So we're looking at this AO3, the relationship between the text and the context in which they were written, and that relates to the writer's perspective. Their perspective, their views, are because of the context they're writing in. So they relate to what's happening in society at that point in time. So we've got these poet profiles, and this is going to be quite helpful now to try and link everything together. So all these ideas about rejecting the traditional symbols of love and being more realistic. So, for context, what you want to recognise is that 20th century, 21st century life was a time, or is a time, of great consumerism, and we can see this through the references to things like the cue cards, the kissograms, the red rose, the Saturn heart. And because she's experienced this sort of commodification of love, she's been able to include that in here. We can also think about the fact that she is writing as an atheist, which could relate to these parts about the wedding ring and the idea of this wedding or this marriage being oppressive. And then we've got the if you like part. This could be an example of irony, because Carol Ann Duffy has been in gay relationships, or has been at different points of her writing career, and earlier on in her life she couldn't have got married to a female partner if she'd liked. So again, it's sort of picking apart these traditional ideas of love, and that's not surprising considering it was written in the 1990s and this age of girl power, and the fact that all the language is so straightforward. You could relate to her working class roots and the fact that she's Scottish, and Scottish people have got a more sort of dour outlook sometimes, sort of gallows humour and being very direct and honest. So again, that's something that's really clearly coming through in the poem. So if you made comments along those lines, you would definitely be building up your marks towards this part, AO3, the context of the poems, and how people's background, the time they were writing, relates to the ideas that they present. So, hopefully that's helped in terms of context. If you haven't had a go at creating one of these little sort of cheat sheets, I suppose, where you go from what's on this page and pop it down on this page, that might be helpful, because this gives you a nice, clear, systematic way of approaching it and making sure you've got that key information and that you don't feel totally overwhelmed while you're revising. So I will leave you now, and I am going to whip through my notes that I've got down here in the next video. Alright then, thanks for watching.